Hello and welcome to this video on working with Microsoft Excel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 5 most common formula functions found inside of Microsoft Excel. Let's take a look. Open in front of you, I've got an example file that I'm going to be using to show off these 5 functions. Now this file is called Most Common Excel Functions -01. And it's an Excel file. Now I've made this file available to you so you can download it, follow along with me, and practice these 5 functions. You'll find this file down below this video, just right down inside the description. Look for the OfficeNewb blog link, and you'll find a link to download this file so you can follow along with me. Now, while you're down there in the description, if you enjoy this video, you learned something new, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you like it. You've learned something new here. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get updates about new videos that we post here to this channel on Microsoft Excel, as well as other Office topics. All right, so get this file downloaded, open it up, and let's jump into the first function. The first Excel function that we're going to be taking a look at here is the most common function, the sum function. The sum function is going to allow us to sum up a range of cells, whatever that happens to be. Take a look. Inside of the workbook, I'm on the first worksheet here called Sum. I've got a simple table, categories, and expense amount, and I've got a cell C9 where I'm going to drop in a total or a sum of C2 through C7. And this is a really simple one. Take a look. So I'm going to click into C9. This is where I want the formula to show up. I'm going to say equals sum. I'm going to open up a parentheses, and now I'm just going to grab the range of cells that I want to sum up. So I'm going to grab C2 to C7. I'll hit my enter key, and I've got my total right there, $2,000. Now, just to confirm, I'm going to select that range. I'm going to look down here on my status bar, and it's actually right behind my head, so I'm going to move off the screen there. And here you'll see a quick little tip showing you the sum of those cells right there. All right, try it out. The next function is going to feel very similar to the one that we just did, the sum function, at least in the way that you create it. But the average function essentially takes a range of cells and it gives us the average amount from that range. Take a look. So I'm on the average worksheet. I'm going to hop over to cell C13, and I'm going to find an average for the range of cells directly above C2 to C11. So I'm going to jump into C13. I'll say equals average. There it is. I'll hit my tab key to complete it. It opens up the parentheses for me. And I'm going to grab C2 to C11. I'll close the parentheses, hit my enter key, and I've got the average. So it's taken those 9 cells, right, minus the header and so on, 10 cells, and it's giving me the average. Try it out. The third function is perhaps a little more advanced than the prior 2 that we just looked at, but in my experience, this is one of the more common advanced functions found inside of Excel. Take a look. This is the if function. Now I'm on the if worksheet. And again, I've got a simple little table here. I've got student names and an assignment score. And the last column, letter grade, is currently empty. It's our responsibility to fill this out. Now, what I'd like to do is, based on the assignment score, this numeric value, I want a letter grade, A, B, C, D, and F, to show up right here. But rather than me going through and manually, 92, that's an A, 78, that's a C, 65, that's a D, rather than me manually doing that, we're going to use an if statement or an if function. Take a look. So I'm going to jump into cell D2. Here's Alice with a 92 score. I'm going to say equals if, and I'm going to open up a parentheses. Now the if function takes 3 arguments or 3 pieces of information. Now this is actually going to get much larger because we have multiple conditions that we want to look at with different output. Let's take a look at the first. So first off, logical tests. We want to know if the assignment score is greater than or equal to 90. If it is, then I want an A. So I'm going to jump into there and I'm going to say if C2 is greater than or equal to 90, that's my logical test. That's the condition that we're looking for. I'll do a comma. Now I get to specify what happens if that is true. So here, inside of quotes, I'm going to put an A. Now that's if true. So I'm going to do a comma. Now we need to tell it what to do if it's false. Well, we've got A, B, C, D, and F. We've got 4 other conditions that we need to look for. Right now, we've only specified if it's greater than or equal to 90. But now we need to do one if it's greater than or equal to 80, if it's greater than or equal to 70, if it's greater than or equal to 60, and so on. So inside the value if false, I'm going to use a technique here called nesting, where essentially we're going to bring in another if. So I'll say if, open parentheses, we get another logical test. So I'll say if this cell is greater than or equal to 80, comma, then I'm going to tell it what to do if that's true. Then give them a B. Well, now I need to keep going. So I'll do comma again. Now I'm in the value if false of that if statement. So I'll bring in another if, and I'll say if this cell is greater than or equal to 70, then give me a C. And let's do it again. If this cell is greater than or equal to 70 was the last one, so 60, then give me a D. Now the last one, I'm not going to specify a whole new if, because we've essentially said, okay, if it's greater than or equal to 90, give me an A. If it's 80, give me B. If it's 70, give me C. If it's 60, give me D. Well, the only thing left is the F. So here, inside the value if false, inside of quotes, I'll just put F. Now I need to close each parentheses that I opened. There we go. I'll hit my enter key. And the first person, Alice here with the 92, gets an A. Now I'm going to copy that formula down using the autofill. So I'm going to grab that little handle in the corner. I'll drag that down. And now I've got it for each person. And let's just confirm. 78 is a C, 65 is a D, 88 is a B, 95 is a C, and so on. So this is your if function. Very common. A little more advanced because it's got 3 arguments. And we brought in some nesting to accommodate for multiple conditions. Try it out. The 4th function we're going to take a look at here is the VLOOKUP, or vertical lookup. This is another very common function, but once again, a little more advanced. Let's take a look. So the purpose of the VLOOKUP is to take a value, such as a product ID that we have here, go to another list, like our product data here, find that product ID, and return something back to us. So here's our scenario. We've got a list of product IDs, along with a transaction ID and a quantity sold for each of those products. Now, what I need inside of this table is I need to know what the product name is. Well, for product 101, I need the product name. So I could, again, manually go to my product data table, look for product ID 101, maybe copy the product name and paste it over here. Well, again, that's me manually doing it. I want Excel to do this for me. Take a look. So I'm inside the VLOOKUP worksheet. I'm going to go to cell E2 and I'll say equals VLOOKUP. There it is. Now the VLOOKUP has 1, 2, 3, 4 different arguments or pieces of information that it needs from us in order to perform this task. The first thing it needs is the lookup value. So here I'm going to say take C2, that's our lookup value, that's what I want to have the function go look for, comma. Now it wants to know where it's going to look. So I'll go to my product table, product data tab. I'm going to grab my data here, B2 to E7. Now I'm grabbing all of the data because one, the VLOOKUP will take the lookup value that we specified. Remember C2 or 101. It'll look in the first column of the array or range that we selected. And then it wants to know, well, which column do you want back once I find it? So table array, we grabbed our range. Then I'm going to do a comma and it wants to know which column. Calling it call index num. Which column do you want to return back? Well, in our case, column 1, column 2 contains the product name. So I'm going to say number 2 here, comma, and the last thing it wants to know is range lookup. It wants to know true or false, whether you want to find an approximate match or an exact match. So here I'm going to put false. I want to find the exact match. Find 101. That's what I want. I'll hit my enter key, and there's our first one. Now, I want to copy this down, but we need to make some adjustments to our formula here. So with E2 still selected, I'm going to come up here to B2 to E7, which was that range of data that we want to search. I'm going to highlight that, and on my keyboard, I'm going to press the function key F4. This will put in the dollar signs or make it an absolute reference. That way it doesn't change as I copy my cells. So there's laptop for the first one. I'll now drag it down. Sneakers, smartphone, coffee, and so on. And we can confirm, see 103 coffee maker, 103 coffee maker. We're good to go. Now let's take this one step further. I'm going to create another VLOOKUP here to find the price. Let's grab that just here quickly. I'll say VLOOKUP. See my lookup. We're going to find the product ID, comma. Where are we going to find it? Back over here, B2 to E7. I'm going to hit F4 so it turns that to an absolute, comma. Next thing it wants to know is the call index. I want to return the price. So that's column number 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth column, comma. And I want to make that false because I want the exact match. I'll close the parentheses. I'm going to hit my enter key, and there's my 800. Now, that's the individual price, right? Looking at the product table, product ID 101, laptop electronics is $800. But here they bought 3 of them. So back to my formula. We'll go to my formula bar here, and I'm just going to say multiply that, the asterisk, by the quantity sold. I'll hit my enter key, and there's my total price. So now I'm just going to copy that down, and I've done it for each of them. This is your VLOOKUP, taking a value such as a product ID, looking for it in another table, and returning something back once it finds it. Try it out. The 5th function that we're going to take a look at here is the SUMIF. So the very first function that we looked at was sum. It took a range of data, summed it up for us. A couple functions later, we looked at the if function. If this is true, do this, otherwise do this. That's our if. But now we're combining the two. I want to sum up a range of cells if something is true. Take a look. So I'm on the SUMIF worksheet. I've got a simple table, product name, categories, and a few months of sales data. Now, inside of my total cell, K2 over here, I want to find a sum for one of my months based on a category. So inside of K2, I'm going to use the SUMIF. I'll say equals SUMIF. There it is. Open my parentheses. Now, the first thing it wants to know is range. But before we get into that, the next thing it wants to know is the criteria. These two are connected to one another. The first range that we want is based on our criteria. So here, we want to search for category that is fashion. So my range, I'm going to say look inside of the category column. So C2 down to C21. That's the range. And I'm going to do a comma. Then it wants to know the criteria. In our case, I'm going to grab J2, which currently contains fashion. Great. Comma. The last thing it wants to know is the sum range. Okay, I found the category that's fashion. Now, what do you want me to sum? Well, in this case, let's say we want January. So I'm going to grab D2 down to D21. I'll close my parentheses. I'm going to hit my enter key, and there's my total. So if the category is fashion, then give me the total for the January month. Now let's just confirm here. There's a fashion. There's a fashion. I'm just going through and holding down my control key here and selecting each of these that contain fashion. And once again, if I look at my status bar, there's our total, $4,600, what we got right there. Okay, but all utilizing the SUMIF. Sum up this range if this is true. Now, this is pretty cool. And I'm referencing a cell right here, category fashion or J2, right? Well, what if that changes? What if I say electronics? Make sure I spelled that right. I'll hit my enter key. My new total is a little bit larger, so I'll increase that cell with 18,400 for electronics. And once again, we can confirm that, but I'm going to trust it. I feel good about it. But we can change it right there and quickly update that formula. Make sure you try this out. All right, here's one more function. Here's a bonus function. Now, this one is a relatively newer function, and it's only available if you're utilizing the Microsoft 365 service subscription with Microsoft Excel. This is called the unique function. Let's take a look. So the scenario is, I want to create a nice little drop down here inside of J2. Remember, this is connected to the SUMIF. If I update this cell, it'll update the formula. I change it from electronics to appliances, or from appliances to fashion, or whatever. It updates the formula, the sum for January based on that category. Well, to make it easier to update, I want to create a drop down. But I need a unique list of all the categories. Take a look. So just off to the right, I'm going to utilize the unique function. Unique, there it is. And the unique function takes just literally one argument from us. It takes 3, but we're going to use 1. And it's just the range of cells that you want to extract the unique values from. So I'm going to grab C2 down to C21. I'll hit my enter key. And there's my unique list: electronics, appliances, fashion. That's it. Now I can go back to J2. I'll go to my data tab, go to data validation. I'm going to change my settings here from allow any value to a list. And inside the source for the list, I'll grab that cell range that contains my formula. I'm going to hit my OK. And now I got a nice little drop down there. Contains my 3 different categories, and as I change that, it updates my formula. So this is utilizing the unique function to extract the unique values from range and then applying that to your data validation lists. Make sure you try it out. So there's 5 of the most common Excel functions. Hopefully you learned something new there. If you learned something new, make sure you hit that like button, hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get updates about new videos that we post here. Make sure you download the file, try these out, experiment with them. There's many different ways that we can utilize each of these functions. These were just a few of the scenarios. Just try it out, and I'll see you in the next video.